Welcome to the dark future of Warhammer 40k. Today we dive into Necron's shadow, Inquisitor's Peril, a thrilling fan-fiction by Maxwell Strathorn. Join us as we unravel a tale of danger, mystery, and ancient foes. If you're ready for an epic journey, hit that like button, subscribe for more adventures, and let's embark on this Warhammer 40k saga. Chapter 1. Shadows over Terra under the shadow of the Emperor's looming palace. Amidst the eternal twilight that shrouds Terra, Inquisitor Marius Valcoran traverses the labyrinthine pathways that vein through the heart of the Imperium. Each step is measured, echoing softly against the ancient stones, a rhythmic reminder of his unceasing duty. The corridors, vast and ornate, are like the ribs of the Imperium itself, immense, enduring, and shrouded in the mystique of eons. As Valcoran moves deeper into the sanctum of power, the air grows heavier with the aroma of old parchment and the metallic tang of ancient armaments. The walls, adorned with the effigies of long-deceased heroes, seem to watch over him with eyes wrought from marble and bronze. Vast murals depicting the Emperor's divine ascension, the Unification Wars, and the Great Crusade adorn the ceilings, their colours vibrant against the dimly lit backdrop. The weight of history is palpable, each artifact and symbol chronicling the unbroken vigil against chaos and heresy. The silence of the halls is a solemn hymn to the countless sacrifices made in the name of the Emperor. Approaching the threshold of the inner sanctum, Valcoran is met by the imposing sight of the great doors, a grand archway carved from obsidian, etched with the sigils and scriptures of the Inquisition. As the doors swing open, they reveal a chamber that is both a war room and a reliquary, where the destinies of worlds are decided. Within this sanctified chamber, Lord Inquisitor Castellan awaits, a solitary figure of power and authority. Clad in armor that whispers tales of battles fought in the darkest corners of the galaxy, he stands as a bastion of the Imperium's resolve. His eyes, under the shadow of his hood, glow with a light that speaks of wisdom and an unyielding commitment to the Emperor's will. Around Castellan, the chamber is adorned with relics of the Inquisition's storied past. Ancient weapons that once smote heretics, banners under which Xenos empires fell, and tomes containing knowledge both sacred and forbidden. As Valcoran steps forward, Castellan activates a device at the center of the table, projecting a hologram of a desolate world, its surface scarred by millennia of conflict and neglect. The image rotates slowly, casting ghostly reflections across the chamber's stone walls. Castellan's voice, when he speaks, resonates with a gravitas born of centuries of service. He details the troubling reports emanating from this isolated planet, a place where darkness stirs and shadows move with malevolent intent. The evidence points to a force thought long vanquished, a name that echoes with dread throughout the annals of Imperial history: the Necrons. Castellan explains that the mission requires utmost discretion. The threat, if confirmed, could send ripples of fear and chaos throughout the Imperium. Valcoran is tasked with assembling a team of unparalleled skill and unwavering loyalty to investigate and neutralize this burgeoning darkness. As the meeting draws to a close, the weight of the task ahead settles upon Valcoran's shoulders like a mantle of lead. Castellan's final words, spoken with the solemnity of a death knell, resonate in the chamber. "The Emperor's light guides you, Inquisitor. In his name, purge this shadow." Chapter 2. The Forsaken World. Aboard the colossal and imposing Inquisition starship Emperor's Retribution, Inquisitor Marius Valcoran stands in the Strategium, a room bathed in the soft glow of tactical displays and ancient candelabra. Here, in the heart of the ship, surrounded by the endless void of space, he awaits the arrival of his carefully selected team, the Shadow Guard. One by one, the members of the Shadow Guard enter the Strategium, their footsteps echoing on the cold metal floor. Each arrival brings a unique presence into the room, a piece of a meticulously crafted puzzle that Valcoran has put together. The death cult assassin, Sable. She enters silently, her presence almost ghost-like. Clad in a skin-tight suit woven with reactive camo fibers, she carries an array of lethal blades that seem to blend seamlessly with her attire. Her eyes, cold and unreadable, scan the room with a predator's precision. Tech Priest Octavius. His approach is announced by the whir of servos and the soft hum of machinery. The tech priest is a fusion of man and machine, his body augmented with numerous mechadendrites and cybernetic enhancements. His robes, emblazoned with the cog and skull of the Adeptus Mechanicus, rustle as he moves. His mechanical eyes flicker with data streams, constantly analyzing his surroundings. The 45th Cadian Guardsmen, a squad of 4, each a veteran of countless battles. Their armor is battle-scarred, each dent and scratch a story of survival and valor. They carry their laser guns with practiced ease, their faces set in expressions of stoic determination. They are the embodiment of the Imperial Guard's unyielding spirit. Navigator Ilara. She is the last to enter, guided by a servo skull. Her eyes are covered with a traditional navigator's blindfold, yet her other senses seem heightened. She moves with an ethereal grace, a stark contrast to the harsh environment of the ship. Her presence is vital. Without her psychic abilities to navigate the warp, their journey would be impossible. As the Shadow Guard assembles, Valcoran steps forward. His voice, firm and commanding, resonates in the strategium. He outlines the mission, a journey to a forsaken world, where unexplained phenomena hint at a resurgent Necron presence. He emphasizes the importance of unity and trust, reminding them that the success of their mission relies on their cooperation and collective strengths. Valcoran invites each member to share their insights and concerns. The tech priest speaks of the technological anomalies they might encounter, his voice a blend of organic and synthetic tones. Sable, though speaking few words, makes it clear that her blades are ready for whatever they might face. The guardsmen affirm their readiness to follow Valcoran into the depths of danger, their loyalty unwavering. Navigator Ilara, speaking in a voice that hints at unseen mysteries, warns of the turbulent currents in the warp surrounding their destination. As the meeting concludes, the team disperses to prepare for the mission. Valcoran takes a moment to observe his team, the Shadow Guard. Each member is a specialist in their field, their skills honed by years of service. Together they form a formidable force, one that Valcoran is confident can face the unknown challenges of the Forsaken world. The stratageum empties, leaving Valcoran alone with his thoughts. He gazes out into the void, aware of the weight of command resting on his shoulders. The mission they are about to undertake is fraught with danger, but he knows that the Emperor's light guides them, and in his name they shall prevail. The Inquisition starship, Emperor's Retribution, carrying the Shadow Guard, orbits the desolate planet. From the stratageum, Inquisitor Marius Valcoran and his team gaze upon the bleak landscape below. The planet is a tapestry of grey and ochre, its surface scarred by the remnants of ancient structures, a mute testament to a long-forgotten civilization. As they prepare for the descent, the atmosphere among the Shadow Guard is one of focused intensity. Tech Priest Octavius adjusts his equipment, calibrating sensors and scanners to penetrate the planet's mysteries. The 45th Cadian Guardsmen perform final checks on their weapons and gear, their movements precise and methodical. Navigator Ilara, her expression serene yet focused, murmurs a prayer to the Emperor, seeking his guidance and protection. The Death Cult assassin, Sable, sharpens her blades, her eyes fixed on the planet below. Aboard the gunship, the Shadow Guard descends through the planet's thin atmosphere. The craft shudders as it passes through turbulent air currents, the world's desolation unfolding beneath them. Valcoran watches intently, his hand resting on the hilt of his power sword, a symbol of his office and duty. The gunship lands with a soft thud on the dusty surface, stirring clouds of forgotten soil. The ramp lowers, revealing the vast expanse of ruins. As the Shadow Guard steps out, the silence of the planet envelops them, a silence as profound as the void of space they traverse to get here. Valcoran is the first to step onto the alien soil, his boots leaving crisp imprints on the dust-covered ground. He surveys the landscape, a vista of crumbling edifices and decayed monuments, their original purpose lost to time. Sable moves alongside him, her senses attuned to any sign of movement or danger. Octavius's sensors begin to whir and beep softly, detecting faint anomalous energy signatures emanating from beneath the surface. As the sun begins to set, casting long shadows over the ruins, Valcoran orders the establishment of a temporary camp. The guardsmen move swiftly, setting up a perimeter with practiced efficiency. Tents are erected and a small portable heater is lit, providing a flickering island of warmth in the cold alien night. Around the campfire, the Shadow Guard shares rations and observations. The sky above turns to a deep indigo, the stars obscured by a thin veil of clouds. The ruins around them seem to whisper with the voices of the past, a haunting reminder of the planet's long and storied history. Octavius shares his preliminary findings with the group, speaking of strange energy patterns that suggest an underlying mystery. Ilara, her voice low, speaks of the warp's unease at their destination, a foreboding omen. Sable remains vigilant, her gaze constantly scanning the darkening horizon. As the night deepens, Valcoran stands watch, his thoughts a mix of strategy and concern. The planet holds secrets that could be key to understanding the Necron threat, but it also harbors unknown dangers. He looks out over the camp and the ruins beyond, aware that the decisions he makes in the coming days will shape the fate of his team and potentially the wider Imperium. The night air is cool and still, broken only by the occasional crackle of the campfire. In the distance, the ruins stand as silent sentinels, their secrets locked within. Valcoran takes a deep breath, steeling himself for the challenges ahead. In the darkness of this forsaken world, the Shadow Guard is a beacon of the Emperor's light, and they will not falter. Chapter 3. Whispers of the Ancient. The day breaks over the ruins, casting a soft golden light on the remnants of a once magnificent civilization. Inquisitor Marius Valcoran, standing amidst the relics of the past, watches the sunrise. The morning light reveals more of the sprawling city, a maze of crumbling structures and forgotten streets. The Shadow Guard assembles at the campsite, each member attending to their morning routines with meticulous care. Tech Priest Octavius adjusts his mechadendrites, each movement precise and calculated. His equipment, a collection of scanners and analyzers, is laid out methodically, ready for the day's exploration. The 45th Cadian Guardsmen, their armor scarred from past battles, perform a disciplined inspection of their laser guns. They exchange quiet words, a camaraderie born from shared experiences on the battlefield. Navigator Ilara, her blindfold a symbol of her unique role, sits in quiet meditation, her senses reaching out into the immaterium, seeking any hint of warp disturbances. Death Cult Assassin. Sable, a solitary figure, sharpens her blades. Her movements are graceful yet deadly, a dance of death perfected over countless missions. The Inquisitors briefing Valcoran gathers the team, outlining the plan for the day. They will split into two groups, one led by himself to explore the central structures of the city, the other led by Octavius to investigate the energy readings near the monument. Communication lines are checked, and rendezvous points are established. Valcoran's voice is firm, his orders clear. They must remain vigilant, for the planet holds many secrets, some potentially lethal. The Shadow Guard sets out, their boots stirring the dust of ages as they move through the ruins. The city, vast and enigmatic, looms around them, its silent streets and alleyways whispering tales of a lost era. Valcoran's team. Moving towards the heart of the city, they navigate through a labyrinth of narrow streets and towering structures. The architecture speaks of a sophisticated culture, now nothing but ghosts in the stone. Octavius's team, heading towards the monument, the Tech Priest and his group scan the surroundings. The energy readings grow stronger as they approach, suggesting a hidden power source beneath the surface. An eerie discovery. As Valcoran's team delves deeper into the city, they come across an open plaza, its center dominated by a large, dry fountain. Carvings on the fountain depict celestial motifs and abstract designs, but one symbol stands out, a motif eerily similar to that associated with the Necrons. Octavius's team reaches the monument, a towering structure adorned with intricate carvings. The Tech Priest's scanners begin to beep frantically, indicating a significant energy source below. As they investigate, Octavius uncovers a hidden panel, revealing a complex interface of alien design. Back in the plaza, Valcoran's team is suddenly ambushed. Necron warriors, emerging from hidden alcoves and beneath the rubble, attack with startling speed. The team reacts instantly. The guardsmen form a defensive line, unleashing a hail of las fire, while Valcoran and Sable engage in close combat. The Inquisitor's power sword arcs through the air, its energy field crackling as it meets the Necron's metallic forms. The battle is intense and chaotic. Valcoran's strategic mind guides his team, finding weaknesses in the Necron lines. Sable moves like a spectre, her blades finding gaps in the enemy's defenses. The guardsmen, disciplined and brave, provide covering fire, their training evident in their coordinated actions. Meanwhile, at the monument, Octavius and his team make a startling discovery. The panel controls a hidden entrance leading down into the depths of the planet. The tech priest, his curiosity piqued, signals Valcoran about the find. As the last of the Necrons fall, Valcoran's team takes a moment to regroup. They are battle-hardened, but visibly shaken by the suddenness of the attack. The Inquisitor assesses their situation. They have survived, but the Necron's presence confirms their worst fears. Regrouping with Octavius's team, Valcoran makes a decision. They will explore the newly discovered underground chamber. The Shadow Guard descends, leaving the light of the surface behind. As they venture into the depths, the air grows cooler, and a sense of ancient secrets long buried hangs heavy around them. Chapter 4. Beneath the Surface. The Shadow Guard's descent into the subterranean depths is marked by a palpable tension. Each step taken by Inquisitor Marius Valcoran and his team echoes through the ancient corridors, a reminder of the untold ages these walls have witnessed. The air is thick with the mustiness of undisturbed millennia, and a faint, almost imperceptible vibration courses through the stone, a whisper of dormant power. The passage, lined with hieroglyphs that speak of a civilization both advanced and arcane, widens into an antechamber of monumental scale. The architecture here is imposing, with towering columns that stretch up into shadow. The chamber is adorned with sculptures of metallic warriors and celestial patterns, each piece a testament to the Necron's mastery of both art and technology. In the chamber's heart lies a structure that captivates tech priest Octavius. It's a complex of alien make, its surfaces covered in intricate patterns and dormant interfaces. His mechadendrites spring into action, extending towards the device with cautious curiosity. The rest of the Shadow Guard watches in silence, their senses heightened for any sign of danger. As Octavius interfaces with the device, a series of glyphs illuminates, casting an eerie light across the chamber. A hum, low and resonant, begins to fill the air, intensifying as the ancient machinery awakens. The walls themselves seem to pulse with life, the shadows dancing as if in response to some unseen signal. The activation of the central structure triggers a hidden mechanism. With a grinding of stone against stone, a section of the chamber wall retracts, revealing a corridor that descends further into darkness. At its end lies a vast crypt, row upon row of Necron warriors standing in silent vigil, their forms an ominous portent of the power they wield. As the Shadow Guard cautiously enters the crypt, the air is filled with a charged expectancy. The Necron warriors, arrayed in precise ranks, are statuesque in their stillness. Yet there's an undeniable sense of impending action, as if each warrior is but a heartbeat away from awakening. At the crypt's far end, an ornate sarcophagus looms, larger and more intricate than the rest, suggesting the resting place of a Necron of high rank, perhaps an overlord. Its surface is adorned with symbols of power and dominion, and it is here that the energy readings spike, a clear indicator of the threat it holds. The first signs of movement among the Necron ranks are subtle, yet unmistakable. Green lights flicker to life in their eyes, casting a baleful glow across the chamber. Valcoran barely has time to shout a warning before the crypt erupts into chaos. Necron warriors advance with mechanical precision, their movements synchronized and deadly. In the ensuing melee, the death cult assassin Sable becomes a vortex of destruction. Her twin blades slice through the Necron metal, her movements a blur of speed and lethality. Each strike is a death sentence, executed with a precision born of a lifetime of training. The Shadow Guard fights valiantly, but the sheer number of Necrons forces them into a retreat. Octavius, reluctantly tearing himself away from the control panel, unleashes a barrage of firepower from his custom weaponry. The guardsmen lay down a withering hail of lasfire, covering the retreat as they move back towards the chamber entrance. As the situation becomes increasingly dire, Navigator Ilara steps forward. Tapping into her psychic powers, she unleashes a wave of psychic energy that ripples through the crypt. The Necrons, momentarily disoriented by the warp-infused assault, falter in their advance. Seizing the moment, Valcoran leads the Shadow Guard in a desperate dash for the surface. They race through the corridors, the sounds of their pursuers a constant reminder of the peril at their heels. They emerge into the daylight, the bright sun a harsh contrast to the darkness below. Exhausted and shaken, the Shadow Guard takes stock of their situation. They have survived an encounter with a formidable Necron force, but the crypt's existence and the awakening of the Necrons pose a grave threat. Valcoran knows that they must report their findings to the Imperium, yet the mystery of the planet and the secrets it holds beckon them to delve deeper into its ancient past. Chapter 5. The Looming Shadow. As dawn breaks over the desolate landscape, casting a soft light on the ancient ruins, the Shadow Guard gathers for a crucial council. Amidst the remnants of a forgotten civilization, Inquisitor Marius Valcoran, his armor etched with the scars of recent combat, projects a holographic map of the area onto a broken wall, turning the ruins into a makeshift strategium. Each member of the Shadow Guard contributes to the tactical discussion. Tech Priest Octavius presents detailed scans of the crypt, displaying complex networks of tunnels and chambers that suggest a sprawling Necron complex beneath the surface. He points out patterns in the energy readings that could indicate dormant Necron technologies far more advanced and extensive than they had encountered. The 45th Cadian Guardsmen, led by Sergeant Cale, report on the squad's readiness. They detail their ammunition count, the condition of their weapons and their preparedness for continued engagement. Their faces, though lined with fatigue, show a resolve born from unwavering loyalty to the Imperium. Navigator Ilara, her voice echoing with the weight of her otherworldly insights, shares her unsettling experience of the psychic landscape below. She speaks of a dark nexus, a focal point of ancient power that could pose a grave threat if fully awakened. Death Cult Assassin. Sable remains a silent, observant presence. Her eyes, however, constantly scan their surroundings, a predator ever vigilant for the next threat. Valcoran's directive. Inquisitor Valcoran, after hearing each report, concludes the council with a decisive strategy. They need to understand the full extent of the Necron presence and uncover any connections to the missing Imperial teams. Before venturing further, he dispatches a servo skull equipped with a message drone to relay their findings to the Inquisition. The Shadow Guard, now equipped with the knowledge of a potentially vast Necron network, prepares for a more extensive exploration of the ruins. Valcoran splits the team. Sable and a pair of guardsmen to scout ahead and map out a safe route, while the main force, led by Valcoran and Octavius, follows to investigate key areas highlighted by the Tech Priest's scans. Sable, accompanied by the 2 Cadian guardsmen, moves through the ruins with ghost-like silence. Her senses are finely tuned to any sign of danger. They navigate through collapsed structures and overgrown pathways, marking safe routes and identifying potential Necron patrol patterns. The main team, delving deeper into the city, uncovers an anomaly, a structure unlike the surrounding ruins. Hidden beneath layers of rubble, they find what appears to be a research facility. The architecture and technology are distinctly non-imperial, suggesting it was constructed by an unknown Xenos race. Venturing inside, the team finds the interior relatively intact. Dust-covered consoles and strange devices fill the rooms. Octavius, his curiosity piqued, begins to examine the alien technology. Datapads and scattered documents, though degraded, offer glimpses into the facility's purpose. It was a research center dedicated to studying Necron technology, a revelation that raises new questions about the planet's history. As they investigate, an alarm echoes through the ruins. Sable's voice, urgent and tense, crackles over the comms. They have encountered a new enemy. Dark figures, agile and coordinated, attack with weapons that emit searing beams of energy. These adversaries are neither Necron nor human, a new variable in the already complex equation of the planet. Valcoran, realizing the gravity of the situation, orders an immediate regroup to assist Sable. The team hastens through the ruins, navigating the labyrinthine cityscape to reach the ambush site. As they move, the sounds of distant combat grow louder, a sign that the Shadow Guard is about to face a threat unlike any they have encountered before. Chapter 6. The Veiled Enemy. The Shadow Guard, upon receiving the distress call, navigates the winding and treacherous paths of the ancient city. The ruins, bathed in the eerie light of the alien sun, cast long, haunting shadows, creating an almost spectral atmosphere. Valcoran leads with urgency, his power armor echoing against the stone, a constant reminder of the peril they face. Emerging into an open plaza, they are met with a scene of chaos. Sable and the guardsmen are engaged in a fierce battle against assailants who move like wraiths, their forms blurred, almost ghost-like. These mysterious figures attack with a grace and coordination that is unsettling, their weapons emitting beams of piercing energy. Valcoran quickly assesses the battlefield. He commands the guardsmen to form a defensive perimeter, their lasguns creating a lattice of deadly fire. Tech Priest Octavius, his mechadendrites whirring, deploys automated turrets that add to the barrage. Navigator Ilara, her psychic senses flaring, stands ready to unleash her warp-born abilities. In the heart of the melee, Sable is a vision of lethal grace. Her blades arc through the air, cutting down the shadowy figures with precision. However, the enemy's agility and unpredictable tactics push even her skills to their limits. As the Shadow Guard battles the unknown foes, the assailants begin to retreat, melting away into the ruins as swiftly as they appeared. The team is left in the silent aftermath of the skirmish, catching their breath and tending to minor wounds. The encounter leaves them with more questions than answers about the identity and motives of these veiled enemies. In the quiet that follows the battle, Valcoran gathers the Shadow Guard for a quick debrief. They stand amidst the ruins, surrounded by the echoes of the conflict. The air is tense, filled with the adrenaline of combat and the uncertainty of the situation. Octavius examines a remnant of the technology left behind by their foes. It's unlike anything they've encountered, sleek, advanced, and bearing a faint energy signature that suggests a sophisticated power source. His findings hint at a civilization with technology rivaling even that of the Necrons. Ilara, her psychic senses still extended, shares a disturbing revelation. The psychic aura she sensed around the attackers felt ancient, a whisper from a long-forgotten past. This information, coupled with the technology analysis, leads to a startling hypothesis. Their attackers may be linked to the Old Ones, a mysterious and ancient race from the galaxy's lore. Valcoran decides that they need to regroup and reassess their mission. With night approaching, they find a defensible location amidst the ruins to set up camp. As they settle in, the gravity of their situation becomes apparent. They are dealing with an enemy shrouded in the mists of history, potentially as dangerous as the Necrons themselves. The Shadow Guard spends a restless night in the ruins, each member lost in their thoughts. The recent encounter has added a new layer of complexity to their mission, and the threat they face is now twofold. Valcoran stands watch, his mind racing with strategies and theories. As dawn breaks, bringing light to the ancient city, Valcoran calls the team together. They will continue their exploration and investigation, but with increased caution. The Shadow Guard, though wary of the unknown, is determined to uncover the truth behind the mysterious attackers and the secrets of the planet. Chapter 7. Echoes of Forgotten Wars. As dawn casts its first light over the alien ruins, the Shadow Guard assembles amidst the broken relics of a bygone era. The air is cool, carrying the faint echoes of a world that once thrived. Inquisitor Marius Valcoran, clad in his weathered power armor, surveys his team with a steely gaze. The weight of the mission rests heavily upon them all. The path to the Nexus is a journey through a landscape scarred by ancient conflicts. The ruins around them whisper tales of grandeur and devastation, each broken pillar and scorched earth a testament to forgotten wars. The team moves in formation, their senses heightened for any sign of danger. Tech Priest Octavius scans the environment, his instruments whirring and clicking as they analyze the surrounding anomalies. Navigator Ilara walks with a serene grace, her blindfolded eyes attuned to the psychic undercurrents of the planet. The guardsmen, led by Sergeant Kale, maintain a protective perimeter, their lasguns at the ready. Sable, ever the silent sentinel, scouts ahead, her movements a blend of caution and lethal grace. Upon reaching the Nexus, the Shadow Guard is met with an imposing sight. The structure stands as a monolith of mixed heritage, part Necron, part something else entirely. It pulses with an energy that suggests a dormant power of immense magnitude. Valcoran orders a cautious approach, aware that they are treading into the heart of unknown territory. The team readies themselves, each member mentally preparing for the challenges that lie within. The Nexus, with its foreboding presence, promises answers, but also portends a confrontation with forces beyond their current understanding. As they begin to investigate the Nexus, the Shadow Guard is blindsided by a sudden assault. Necron warriors, their forms glinting with a malevolent energy, emerge from hidden recesses in the structure. Simultaneously, the shadowy figures they encountered before strike with swift, coordinated attacks. The plaza outside the Nexus turns into a battleground. Valcoran shouts orders over the din of combat, directing his team to respond to the two-front assault. Octavius's combat servitors unleash a barrage of gunfire, their mechanical forms standing steadfast against the onslaught. Ilara channels her psychic energy, creating barriers to disrupt the enemy's advance. The guardsmen form a defensive line, their disciplined fire cutting down Necron warriors. Sable engages the shadowy attackers, her blades finding their mark in the brief moments they materialize from the shadows. An unexpected alliance. In the chaos, a faction of the shadowy figures suddenly shifts its focus, turning its attacks against the Necrons. This unexpected development turns the tide of battle, providing the Shadow Guard with a crucial advantage. Amidst the fierce combat, Valcoran and Octavius work to activate the Nexus's sealing mechanism. They navigate the alien interface, deciphering its functions under immense pressure. The facility begins to power down, its ominous hum fading into silence. The battle is won, but not without cost. The plaza is strewn with the remnants of their foes and the fallen of their own. Sergeant Kale and several guardsmen lay among the casualties, their sacrifice a stark reminder of the mission's stakes. As the Nexus is sealed, the allied shadowy figures vanish as abruptly as they appeared, leaving a trail of unanswered questions. Who were they? Why did they choose to aid the Shadow Guard at the last moment? In the aftermath, the Shadow Guard gathers to honor the fallen. Valcoran commends their bravery, vowing to ensure their sacrifice is remembered. The Nexus is sealed, but the enigmas of this world remain, a puzzle that the Inquisitor knows will require further investigation. As they prepare to depart the planet, the Shadow Guard looks back at the Nexus one last time. They leave behind a world still shrouded in mystery, its history a complex tapestry of wars and alliances yet to be fully unraveled. The journey back to the Inquisition will be one of reflection and preparation, for the galaxy's shadows are deep and full of secrets. Chapter 8. The Silent Aftermath. As the Shadow Guard begins their ascent from the planet's cryptic depths, the atmosphere is one of contemplative silence. The ruins, illuminated by the alien sun's first light, cast long shadows across their path. Inquisitor Marius Valcoran leads with a quiet determination, his mind grappling with the mission's complexities. Upon emerging onto the surface, the team arranges a solemn ceremony for the fallen guardsmen. In the midst of the ruins, Valcoran delivers a eulogy that resonates with respect and honor. The guardsmen, including Sergeant Kale, are placed in stasis chambers, ensuring they will be returned to Terra with the dignity they deserve. Tech Priest Octavius stands with his head bowed, his mechanical parts whirring softly in a rare moment of stillness. Navigator Ilara, her psychic senses dulled from exertion, offers a silent prayer, her lips moving in a whisper to the Emperor. Sable maintains a watchful perimeter, her expression stoic, yet her eyes betraying a flicker of sorrow. Reflecting in the ruins. Following the ceremony, each member of the Shadow Guard takes a moment to reflect on the mission. Octavius, intrigued by the alien technology they have encountered, pores over the artifacts and datapads, his mind racing with theories and potential implications. Ilara, feeling the psychic toll of their experiences, meditates to regain her composure, seeking solace in the Emperor's light. Sable, checking her weapons and equipment, remains vigilant, her thoughts enigmatic and focused on the mission's unresolved aspects. Valcoran reviews their discoveries, considering the strategic implications of the Nexus, the mysterious message, and the potential for further conflict. As the team prepares to leave the planet, there's a sense of unfinished business. The Nexus is sealed, but the mysteries of the planet and the true nature of their mysterious allies remain unsolved. With a final look at the ruins, Valcoran signals the team to move out, their mission on this world concluding, but the broader implications just beginning to unfold. Chapter 8. The Silent Aftermath. Before departing, Valcoran sends a detailed astropathic message to the Inquisition. He includes information about the Necron awakening, the sealing of the Nexus, and the mysterious allies who aided them. He emphasizes the importance of vigilance and further investigation into the complex web of galactic powers they have glimpsed. The journey back to their ship, the Emperor's Retribution, is marked by a reflective quiet. The ship, awaiting in orbit, is a silent sentinel over the planet. As they board, each member of the Shadow Guard carries with them not just the physical remnants of their mission, but also a host of unanswered questions and deepened resolve. As the Emperor's Retribution prepares to enter the warp, the crew and the Shadow Guard alike brace for the journey. Inside the ship, the mood is introspective. The journey through the warp is a metaphor for their own journey through uncertainty and revelation. Octavius continues to analyze the alien technology, his mind not at rest. Ilara seeks solace in her quarters, her connection to the warp a constant reminder of the universe's vast mysteries. Sable cleans her weapons, each motion a ritual of preparation for future battles. Valcoran stands on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the swirling chaos of the warp outside. His thoughts linger on the mission, the decisions made, and the challenges ahead. The Emperor's Retribution disappears into the warp, the familiar stars of the galaxy giving way to the Immaterium's roiling energies. The story of the Shadow Guard on this mysterious planet comes to an end, but their role in the larger tapestry of the Warhammer 40k universe is far from over. The echoes of their discoveries and battles will resonate in the ongoing saga of conflict, intrigue, and the unyielding spirit of those who serve the Imperium. Chapter 9. Whispers of the Future. The Emperor's Retribution, cutting through the void of space, approaches Terra. The journey back from the mysterious planet has been a contemplative one for Inquisitor Marius Valcoran and his Shadow Guard. Each member of the team is wrapped in their thoughts, pondering the implications of their recent encounters. Upon landing, Valcoran leads his team to the fortress of the Inquisition. The ancient halls, lined with relics of past glories and past horrors, resonate with a solemn power. The team, still bearing the marks of battle, moves through these halls with a sense of purpose. In a chamber lit by flickering torchlight, Valcoran presents a thorough debriefing to the High Lords of the Inquisition. His report details every aspect of their mission: the Necron awakening, the discovery of the Nexus, the intervention of the mysterious allies, and the cryptic message pointing to ancient galactic conflicts. Octavius supplements the report with his technical analysis of the alien technology, suggesting its potential significance in understanding wider cosmic events. Ilara shares her experiences of the psychic anomalies, highlighting the need for a deeper exploration of the warp's mysteries. Sable remains a stoic presence, her report concise but filled with insights from her frontline encounters. The High Lords, deeply concerned by these revelations, assign a new critical directive to Valcoran. He is to form and lead a specialized task force to delve deeper into these mysteries. This team, with the Shadow Guard as its core, will seek out the hidden threads of this ancient conflict and assess their implications for the Imperium. As the meeting concludes, the Shadow Guard regroups to discuss their new mandate. The air is filled with a mix of apprehension and determination. They understand the dangers ahead but are resolute in their duty to the Imperium. Octavius begins organizing a research team, planning expeditions to recover more artifacts and information. Ilara, intrigued by the psychic dimensions of their mission, seeks to consult with other navigators and scholars of the warp. Sable prepares for the inevitable conflicts ahead, her training and skills to be put to the test against unknown adversaries. The Shadow Guard, standing on a balcony overlooking Terra. The sprawling capital of the Imperium stretches out before them, a testament to humanity's resilience and ambition. Above, the stars twinkle in the vastness of space, each one a beacon in the dark, representing uncharted worlds and hidden truths. Valcoran gazes at the stars, a thoughtful expression on his face. He knows that the mission on the distant planet was just the beginning of a much larger journey. The challenges ahead are daunting, but he is confident in his team's abilities. The future may be shrouded in mystery, but they are ready to face it head-on. Epilogue. in the Emperor's shadow. The golden rays of dawn bathe the colossal structures of Terra in a light that belies the grim reality of the galaxy. Inquisitor Marius Valcoran, standing in his quarters aboard the Emperor's Retribution, watches the sun rise over the Imperial Palace. The moment is serene yet poignant, a reminder of the eternal vigilance required to safeguard humanity's sprawling empire. Valcoran reflects on the intricate web of secrets and power they have begun to unravel. The journey to the distant planet was more than a mission. It was a revelation of the complex forces at play in the galaxy. He understands that their findings have only scratched the surface of a much larger and more enigmatic struggle. Each member of the Shadow Guard in their own way prepares for the challenges ahead. Tech Priest Octavius is engrossed in his lab, surrounded by alien artifacts and complex data arrays. His mind is ablaze with the potential knowledge and power these relics represent, and he is already devising new instruments and weapons to aid their quest. Navigator Ilara, in her chamber, surrounded by star charts and arcane tomes, seeks guidance from the Emperor's light. Her psychic connection to the warp, a vital asset in their travels, is both a burden and a gift. She is the beacon that will guide them through the Immaterium's turbulent sea. Death cult assassin Sable, in the ship's armory, meticulously maintains her arsenal. Each blade is sharpened with a reverence for her craft, each weapon checked with a solemn understanding of the battles to come. She is a silent avenger, ready to strike at the heart of the Imperium's enemies, the Inquisition's watchful eye. Back on Terra, the halls of the Inquisition are abuzz with activity. Valcoran's report has ignited a flurry of clandestine meetings and covert plans. The Inquisition, an organization that thrives in the shadows, recognizes the importance of the Shadow Guard's discoveries and the need for further investigation. As Valcoran readies himself for the briefing, a communique arrives. It's a new directive, a mission that will take them to the fringes of known space. The details are scarce, but the implications are clear. They are on the cusp of uncovering truths that could reshape their understanding of the galaxy. The Shadow Guard gathers in the ship's stratagem. Valcoran outlines the scant details of their new assignment. The mood is one of determination. They are united in their commitment to uncovering and combating the threats that lurk in the galaxy's dark corners. As the Emperor's Retribution disengages from Terra's orbit and sets course into the void, the camera pans out to a view of the galaxy. Countless stars, planets and nebulae stretch out into infinity, each a story waiting to be told, each a potential battleground in the eternal war. In the vast, dark expanse of the Warhammer 40k universe, the struggle for survival and supremacy is unending. But amidst the darkness, there are those like the Shadow Guard who stand as guardians and warriors, ever vigilant in the Emperor's shadow.